Time to take a little bit of a break. Hoping you are all having a wonderful Wednesday morning or Wednesday evening, depending on where you are in the world. Some people, it might even be close to Thursday, right? So, hope you're having a great day. See? Those don't want to go, so we're not going to force it. There we go. It's over here. And my coffee is now warmed up. I do have to wipe down my countertop. Hold on. I think I still have a little bit of I cut up one of my watermelons last night. If you have been watching my most recent posts, you have me live here in the bunkhouse kitchen. And there we go. I might have a little bit of the juice from the watermelon still on the countertop where I cut it open. I cut open two of my watermelons and I got left with this little one that looks like a squash. Doesn't this little watermelon look like it's a squash? So these are some things that I've harvested from my garden yesterday. Hi, thanks for joining me. Yes, thanks for joining in. Algiers is here. Yes, where you can let me know where you're from. I have 3 jalapenos and an itty bitty little snackable. I don't even know if that's snackable yet, but the itty bitty little green pepper. So my garden is pretty well ready to be turned over and start a new planting. Thank you so much for being here. Caldwell, New Jersey is in the house. San Diego, Jesus is here. My tomato plants are almost done. So Jay is in the house. Thanks for joining in. Mike Kennedy has joined in. Burlington, Vermont. And Arkansas, Alvin from Arkansas. London, England, Matthew, thank you for joining. Israel is in the house. Florida, Sparky B is here. Plymouth, Southwest England, David Macbeth, thank you for joining in. Where am I? I am in Alabama. I am in Southeast Alabama. That is where the farm is located. So if you're new to me, that I'm Mary Burke and you have me live. So this is the account that you should hit. Follow, like, subscribe, and all of the above. Hi, Leo. Thanks for joining in. I love it when you give me roses. I love when you give me roses. Look, I have a rose here. Thank you for the roses. Yes, they smell beautiful. I love when you give me roses. And I also have, somebody else, Leo. I love when I get the roses. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm gonna put that back in the water. And there we go, put it back in the water. But thank you so much for my gifts and the hearts. I love when you give me flowers. Thank you, Orlando, for my virtual flowers there. I'm gonna go grab my coffee from the microwave. I had already made it in the Keurig, but sadly it sat long enough that, why don't I reply? I don't know, Funny Onion. I don't know. I do get lots of people that do send messages, so if I miss you, I'm sorry that I've missed you. But I do have a lot of people joining in and commenting, so I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the kisses. If somebody asked me to flex my biceps, I certainly can. I have not worked my biceps yet this morning. I could go and grab the weights. I have not pumped up yet. So hello and welcome. Thank you for joining in. I do appreciate you all being here. There we go. Ireland, Alan from Ireland is here. Thank you for joining in. Let's see who else we have. Texas Cyclone, #1 in my book. Thank you. I like to be #1 in your book. Good morning, Luke. Luke Berry. Okay, so it's 90210 reference, or is that really your name? Um, uh, Yo, my friends. Hi, Akil. Yes, Aksoy. Okay. I probably butchered that name, so be careful. Welcome from South Africa as well. Thank you for being here. Ooh, I just had a big bird fly through the front yard. So I have to keep my eyes on that when they land low. So thank you for being here. Oh, and they're chasing something. You're learning English with me. Excellent. I'm happy that I could be your tutor in teaching you English, Alfonso. I appreciate that. Yes, Raphael, make sure you have your coffee ready to take your break with me. It is a hot one here today. Again, we are looking at, let me see, let me get the official temperature. It is, it is 98. The thermometer is in the sun right now, but it is 98 degrees outside at 11 a.m. Yesterday it was 96 at 8:45, and now at 11 it has warmed up to 98 degrees. So it will be a hi from one Burke to another. It'll be another hot one. It'll be a scorcher here today. Keurings are not for everybody. There's also the Nespressos and good old tea kettle in the RV. I have both a tea kettle and a Keurig there. I do tend to drink a lot of coffee. However, I only drink it 1 cup at a time. If I put on a pot, it's going to take me a while to drink it. So I like the consistency of having that one-shot coffee. Thank you, Sweet Philly, for thinking that I'm pretty. I appreciate that. Hi, Gregory. Thanks for joining in. Carlos, good morning and kisses back. Thank you for being here. Maud, thank you for joining in from France. Yes. Now, I have been to France, so some of the places that you might say, I can always chime in. I have been to Bordeaux in France as well as Paris. So thank you. Beautiful, beautiful countryside of Bordeaux, all the wine, the vineyards there. Come to Argentina. I have never been to Argentina. Yes, good morning, good morning. Virginia. Now, the only place in Virginia I've been to is out at the ocean. I've been to Virginia Beach, Michael. And I did stay right on the water. It was right after a storm, so the waves were huge. Walking down the boardwalk. Actually, I rollerbladed down the boardwalk as well. And what else can I tell? Oh, I had to go to a pet groomer while I was there for one of my cats because the cat was traveling with me and got a little car sick, so I had to take it to get groomed, and it was near where the jets take off at the base there. So I had the sunroof open, and I was a little bit surprised. I didn't know where I was, and a jet took off right over my head. It was pretty wild. So South Carolina is in the house. Now, South Carolina, Charleston. I've driven through Charleston, and I've gone all the way up to Myrtle Beach. Love Myrtle Beach. I did get to stay there for an extended bit. I was over at the KOA there with my RV, so I had taken the RV on a journey. Chicago's in the house. Oxford, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I've been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and Chicago. I was there once for a trade show. So, yes, welcome, welcome. North Carolina, I don't think I've spent any time. I forget where south of the border is. I forget whether that's one of the Carolinas there. Ireland, McNally. Yes, I have stayed in Ireland. I did spend a month and a half, almost 2 months in Dublin. But I do want to go back. Egypt, I have never been to Egypt. Canada, Jesse, is in the house. I have been not over to Toronto, I've been over to Montreal and Quebec, and I actually stayed at the Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City. Let's see, Kansas, not in Kansas anymore. No, I have never been to Kansas. So thank you for joining in. I do appreciate you being here. I do thank you for the gifts when you send gifts and hearts. Yes, please come back. Yes. Well, you never know. I want to explore Ireland a little bit more. My ancestry, Burke, is from and in fact, I got something from Disney when I was there regarding Burke. I haven't opened it yet. It's about the family history, and it's stuff that I have heard my entire life, so it rings true. If I could open it, I might not be able to open it. My fingers don't want to be able to pull this out. Wiggle it out. Let's see if I can get this to wiggle out. I need something to pry it open with. There we go. Come on. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle it a little bit. They pop that top on there tight. There we go. Get in there. Oh, boy, that was a tight fit. Let's see. So I did get the family crest. So here is the Burke family crest. Ooh, I'm gonna have to put that under some books. So there is the Burke family crest. Looks a little something like that. And I will get this and get it mounted and get some, there we go. I'm gonna have to put that down and put something over it to straighten it out. And then, so Sally asked if I am married. Yes, I am married. Thank you for the rose, Fabius 666. All right. Looks like the Manchester mascot. There you go. Yes, it has, I believe it's lions. Yes, I have a lion down in the bottom. It's red and gold with a knight in the middle. So there we go. I think we're gonna flatten that again. It's a little too curvy for me. There. All right. So thank you for joining in. It is a hot one here today. I have to make sure that I'm in compliance, so bear with me. Oops. Okay, we're gonna try to lay this flat. Okay. Let's see. The Irish surname Burke is the anglicized form of the French surname Burgh, B-U-R-G-H, which was introduced to England after the Norman invasion of 1066. Yes. It is interesting to note, however, that the surname is not found in England except in families of Irish descent. Let's see. The founder of the name in Ireland was William de Burgo, B-U-R-G-O, who went to Ireland with Henry II in 1171, succeeded Strongbow as chief governor, and later became Earl of Ulster. In 1179 was estates in Connacht, C-O-N-N-A-C-H, were granted to the Burgos or Burkes, the next generation, when it was granted to Sir Richard Burke by Henry III. Today the surname is wait a second. Today, I lost my place. Next generation, when it was granted to Sir Richard Burke by Henry III. Today, the surname is numerous in Ireland, hosting over 19,000 bearers. The Burkes became more completely, I don't know what that one says, than any other family. They adopted Brehon law and proclaimed themselves chiefs after the Irish families. Now, as I understand it from my family ancestry, we also came over with William the Conqueror. So I can date my family back even further than this. Reference to the name Burke in Ireland included a record of one Colum Burke, born to the parents of Cummin Burke and Mary Sullivan. Ah, there's a Mary in the mix. District of Galway. In 1864, bear the surname in the Americas include Geoffrey Burke in 1679. And I can trace my ancestors back to the late 1700s, arriving as early settlers in the northeast of the United States by way of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So, as I understand it from my family, is that they were fishermen originally, which might be why I enjoy fishing so much, and that they followed the fish. So they followed it from England and Ireland over to Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, and then down into the New England region. King Vajata would like a kiss, so there I am blowing you a kiss. Blah, 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 blah. So the blazon of arms or a cross rules in, don't know what they're saying. A lion, rampant sable, a mountain proper, collared and chained or, that's the crest. Translation, that's what I needed to get to, was the translation on here. One king, one faith, one law, as for the family crest. And the origin is from Ireland. So there you go. But I can trace that history back even further than what I was given here. So that is pretty neat on that family history. I have to flatten it though. It's too curved. That's not going to be good. Too curved. There we go. I'm going to have to roll it the other way a little bit to try and take some of the curve out of that. There we go. All right. That wasn't in there that long, so. All right, so now I'm going to place it. I'm going to place it face down over there. So there's a little bit of the family history of the name Burke. All right, I'm going to have to put my watermelon on top to give it some weight. All right, well, hey, Pedro, happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños. That's about as much as I know. Dennis has chimed in. Hi there, Great Gazoo. Thanks for joining me this morning. Good morning, Alfredo. Welcome. Thank you for joining in. All right, gotta go. Thanks, ND, for joining me this morning. Got to get back to work, some of you. I am going to be on extended break for a minute. It is hot out there. So if you've been following me, you might have noticed my latest post, one of my latest posts was using the diamond bit on my drill gun so that I could drill through my tile, so that I can install the channel that's going to hold the glass wall for my shower. I did get one side completed, so I'm anxious to get up there and get started on the other side. Now it's just dry fit in there. I do have to do some finagling to make sure that it's all lined up, and so I just dry fitted it yesterday. I walked away from it because I was getting a little frustrated and I needed to clear my head on it. So going in it with fresh eyes this morning. Real Perks asks if I own horses. I do not own any horses. I do have one pig, one pig, 3 goats, including a baby. Then I have a dozen or so chickens, and 3 dogs, 5 cats, something like that. Yes. So I used to also have ducks, but I rehomed the ducks. I don't have water here on the property, and it was much too hard for me to keep them water bound and the water clean with the ducks. So I rehomed them to a local farm. Do I fish or do I have fish? Neither. I fish. I like to go deep sea fishing. So I do enjoy going down and doing some deep sea fishing. So, let's see. Al? Please? You're a cook. Excellent. In Cleveland? Yes. I hope that you are enjoying your are you a chef? Or you just cook? It's your birthday, Ollie? All right. Thanks. Thanks. And make sure, if you like what you see, or if you've seen some of my most recent posts while I am building out the shower in the cabin, make sure you hit follow, subscribe, join. Yes, you can share the live. You can there's lots of stuff you can do. So, and then once you get there, you can always check out my bio to see what other social media platforms I am also on, to make sure that you have actually me. You know, during my live yesterday, somebody asked about my X account, if I had closed it. I had not, but I spent a bit of time, and my team spent a bit of time actually tracking down the fakes and reporting them. So I do a lot of that as well, because there's so many fake Marys out there. Apparently it's big business to be me. Who knew? Who knew? So thank you, Donald, for being my #1 gifter. I do appreciate that. Thank you for the rose. I do appreciate roses. Here's a beautiful rose right here, right? Let me smell the roses. Thank you so much. I do appreciate them. Little Anderson, make sure that you hit follow, and then you can go to my profile and again see all the social media platforms that I am on. So I do appreciate that. Thank you, Chrysalis. Thank you for being here. Hi, Juan. Thank you for the kisses. Mwah. Kisses back to everybody. Now, I do have lots of projects lined up. Oop, that's underneath the stuff that I just had out that I was working with here. So, let's see. So, all right. So this is my to-do list. Can you guys see this? Here at the farm, that is my to-do list. Yes, it runs the entire page and has a supply list on the right hand of it of things that I'm going to need to purchase to get all those things done. But so, I mean, a lot of the items are small. Once I get past installing the glass doors for my shower in the cabin, that will be a lot easier. So first I have the U channel to install. So I will be drilling holes and keep with the diamond tip. Now the trick with that is that you have to keep that diamond tip wet the entire time as you are drilling through the tile to make sure that you don't crack that tile. So a lot of times you'll go into bathrooms and you'll see where they've mounted stuff and you'll see cracks. Well, that's because they didn't keep the tip wet enough. Or what screws they used to put in there bore too much weight and didn't distribute enough and ended up cracking the tiles. So thank you, Nico, for becoming my #1 gifter. Thank you for the roses. I do appreciate roses. I appreciate that. Hi there, Malik. Thank you for joining in. I have Steve that has also joined in. Yes, good afternoon or morning where you are. For me, it is still morning time. I have about another 45 minutes before it gets to noon time. Blow you goodbye kisses. Mwah. There's goodbye kisses. Yes, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it when you join in. You can shout out where you're from and what you're up to today on this Wednesday. It is my coffee break as I am trying to regroup and get up my nerve to go back up to the cabin and work on the glass doors. So I might have to, right now I have dry fit the glass into the channel. I'm gonna take that glass back out. I may have to take the screws in the channel back out and countersink or make my screw hole in the channel bigger so that I can countersink the screw into it to give me a little more wiggle room. Right now my glass is sticking out too far. So if I countersink that screw, it will give me that, I might only need 1/8 of an inch, but that 1/8 of an inch is gonna count. So, yes, somebody asked about keeping the tip wet for my diamond drill bit, because I am working with tile today. So while I'm working with the tile, the trick to making sure that I don't crack that tile is that I keep the tip wet. Do I like to read true crime novels? I like to watch some of it on TV, and I do enjoy a good mystery. I don't know that I really sit down and read true crime novels. Thank you, Hush, for thinking my husband is the lucky one. Good morning, Mickey. How are you today? Good Papa Will, Big Papa Will. Thanks for joining in, and I have Richard in the house. Yes, thanks for joining in, Carlos and Eric Arnold. I'm sending you waves. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Oh, user. Hi. I see the wave going on. I remind you of Andy McDowell. All right. Well, thank you so much. Do I need to do, how many jumping jacks can I do? I can do a lot of jumping jacks, believe it or not. Hi from Albuquerque, Joseph. Thanks for joining in. I do appreciate you being here. Jose from Cuba. I did get to go to Cuba. That's one of the places that I have visited. I always forget that when I'm talking about places that I visited. I did get to go to Cuba back in, I think that was 2020. I went to Cuba in June, actually. And that was, it was very interesting. I stayed in Havana, or actually outside of Havana. I rented a villa or a house, so that was beautiful. I didn't have a driver, but I ended up hiring one of those old-timey classic car with a driver to drive me around, and went to one of the beaches out there just past Havana. It took a long time because you can't go very fast in those cars or on those streets. So thank you so much for being here. Have somebody asked if I've been to Singapore. I have not visited Singapore. So how did I learn all my skills? Trial and error, a lot of reading, and been refurbishing properties or constructing. This is really my first venture into constructing from new. Well, I guess not completely. So I've done that over the last 20 years, and refurbishing for a very long time. For 25, 30 years I've been refurbishing properties. So it's part of what I do. So thank you for being here, Marlo. I do appreciate you joining in. And then I have Rod. Thanks for joining in. Yes. Let's see. It looks like I had something that stopped scrolling there. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Hugo, for joining in and liking my content. Make sure you hit follow, like, subscribe. You've got Mary Burke Live, so you should do all of the above, right? follow, like, join, subscribe, and then that way you get the most up-to-date information from me, my most up-to-date posts. You get notified when I go live, and you can join me and see what I'm up to here at the farm every day. So thank you, Hadley, for joining in. I do appreciate you being here. Do I speak any French? No. Oui, oui. Arrête, to stop. Bonjour, bonne nuit. Bienvenue. Those are like the only French words that I know. Un, deux, ga. No, un, deux, tres, ga. I don't know. I can't even get to 5 in French. I am doing well, AJ. Thanks for asking. Hi, Higsby. Thanks for joining in. If you write to me in another language, it's going to be very difficult for me to understand what you're saying. I'm going to open that window, let some fresh air in. Let's see. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you being here today and joining me on my break. Brazil. I have not been to Brazil, nor have I been to India. No. You're a French guy, all right? From France or from Canada? French Canadian or French French? So, thank you for being here. Am I a fan of fast foods? No. I'm a fan of quick, healthy foods. So I will be receiving my new shipment from HelloFresh tomorrow. That is not an advertisement in any way, shape, or form, but that is just what I have being delivered tomorrow. So I will get some healthy meals that I can cook. Hello from Nigeria, how are you? Can I show you the bottom of my feet? I'm wearing my boots. I have my Timbs on. Yes, my Timberlands are on. See? My Timbs are on because I have to go back out and get working in the cabin pretty soon. So, but I was taking a break. Lafayette, Louisiana in the house. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, I'm not a fan of fast food. Somebody asked if I was, and I'm not. Hi there, Sarge. Thanks for reporting for duty. Yes. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you joining in. And let's see here. I have to do something. One quick question. There we go. All right. There we go. Now I'm back. All right. I just ask that you play nice and be nice in the comments. If you can't play nice, you get kicked out. Sorry. Ireland, the Mick. Yes. When am I going over? Who knows when I will go across the pond and go back to Ireland. I did. If you watched earlier in my live, I did say that I had spent about a month and a half to 2 months in Dublin. So I do want to go back and visit County Cork a little bit further south. Hello from the Netherlands. Yes, welcome. Hi, Bob. Thanks for joining in. Jonathan asks where I am from. Originally, well, let me backtrack. I am currently in southeast Alabama, and that came by way of Florida for the last 20 years, and I transplanted to Florida from the northeast of the United States, where I was born and raised. Now, somebody asked what type of coffee I drink. I am a Dunkin' Donuts girl, because again, I am from New England, so Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice here, with the Dunkin' Donuts extra cream. So, you live in Alabama, Jonathan? Fantastic. I am still learning the geography of Alabama, so Roll Tide is what I can say to one Alabamian to another. Orange Beach. I am further north than Orange Beach, more easterly as well. So I am my dog Stella is not currently available. She is either taking a nap or outside around the farm. She usually barks to let me know when she wants to come in. Manchester, UK in the house. Thank you. Kisses. Thank you from the king. Thank you so much for the kisses. Thank you for joining in. Yes, hi Mahori. Thanks for joining in. Good afternoon. So, call Stella the one? Yes. I don't want to wake her from a nap. You let sleeping dogs lie. Haven't you learned? You let sleeping dogs lie. Rotherham, England is in the house. Yes, Alabama is fire. Yes, it is. It is awfully hot. I'm sure it is 100 degrees now. It looks like it's 100 degrees now. Let's see. It is currently 99 degrees out. 99. It's gone up another degree. California. Now, I did do a 2-week road trip. Now, that's going back almost 30 years. I've always done the road trips. So, about 30 years ago, I had a work engagement for one of the companies that I worked with. I was flown out there to do some communications work and some telecommunications work. And then from there, I took a 2-week road trip and drove from San Francisco all the way down to San Diego. Took my time. Brazil is in the house. Ooh, 102 in Georgia. I have not checked what the heat index says that it is. So, let's see. Let's check it out, shall we? What is the heat index today? Oh, that's Florida. I haven't updated my location apparently. Okay, let's go to Alabama. Heat advisory. Yes, let's see what we got here. The heat index values are up to 110 degrees today. Yes, is expected for southeast Alabama and portions of south central and southwest Georgia. So there you have it. The heat index up to 110 today. From 11 a.m. CD time, which is Central Daylight Time. If you ever wondered what the S or the D in the middle of the time zone means, that is either stands for standard or for daylight. Let's see, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Oh, 6 p.m. Central. So, make sure you drink plenty of fluids today. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids. So that is, so for instance, my internal one for a nearby heliport in the next town over. Okay, so from where I am, I'm between two bigger towns, but where I am is pretty rural. So they're currently saying 94, but feels like 105, whereas my gauge outside says 99. So plenty of fluids. No beer. You have to drink the water too. Drink the water. Unless you're in Mexico. Don't drink the water in Mexico. Yes. Lots of fluids. Lots of water. Hydrate. Hydration is key to not having any. Now, that happened to me once in Mexico, by the way. I was at Chichen Itza and I got heat stroke. I did not hydrate. because hydration is actually important for the 24, 48 hours before you have a problem. So, so hydrating today is going to help you a little bit today, but it's also going to help you in days forward. So it is important that you stay hydrated, not just hydrate for an event, that you take that 24, 48 hours. Like if going to Epcot, I knew I was going to be in the sun for the majority of the day. I actually spent from about 10 a.m. to about 8 p.m. walking around Epcot. And so for the 24 hours and the 48 hours beforehand, I was drinking probably 10 or more big bottles of water per day to get myself completely hydrated. And then there, I had a bottle of water in every single country. Since I don't drink, I snacked and drank water around the world. So like in France, I had Evian water. Yes, they do Dasani in most places, but I was trying to get the local water. So like Evian is from the French Alps. I was trying to get Icelandic water in Norway, but what I ended up getting was Voss. So I was happy with getting Voss water there. King asked me to flex my biceps again. So I have not worked the biceps this morning, so that is unpumped. So here, hold on. So here, we will work the biceps. Ready? So here you go. We'll work them. All the way down, all the way up, slow. Count with me. How many have I done? That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. Now we'll go in more that way. Rotate and come back down. That's 8. That's 7. That's 6. That's great for your forearms on the way down. That's 5. That's 4. That's 3. That's 2. That's 1. Now let's do some hammers. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. And now let's do reciprocating. 1 up, 1 down. So up, meet in the middle. That's 8. That's 7. That's 6. That's 5. That's 4. That's 3. That's 2. That's 1. Right there. All right. So then, now you can see them, they're a little more pumped, right? All right. Thanks for joining in. You have you have Mary Burke live. This is the account to make sure that you hit follow, like, subscribe, join, all of the above. right? Yes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. Mix would like to see some jumping jacks. Yes. Are you going to do the jumping jacks too? Yes. Jumping jacks? Jumping jack flash? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining in. You've got Mary Burke Live, and this is the account that you should hit follow, like, subscribe, join, all of the above, because then you can check out my profile and go and see all the other social media pages that I am on and actually get the correct account, because there's a lot of fakes out there. All right. So just make sure that you get the real Mary Burke, because there's lots of fake ones. So. Oh, well, I don't know your real name. Somebody asked me to say their real name, or to say their name, and they have a username. So if you don't have a name up there, and you have a username, hi, saludos, hello. I think that means hello or goodbye. I'm not sure which. Hi there, Scamp. Thanks for thinking that I'm pretty. Thanks for joining in, the counselor. Thanks for joining. Hi, Ace. Thank you for joining in. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Yes. You like it when I live stream. So now you get a view inside the bunkhouse kitchen. So you have me live here. All of this has been renovated. So this is part of what this area was renovated. The cabin I started from scratch. It just had the shell of a shed that I put an addition on, and that I have been building from scratch. Here was already, the bunkhouse was already here, but I did pretty much strip it down to the studs and build it back up again. So everything that you see here has been refurbished or replaced. So I have hickory cabinets, a leather granite countertop, all the trim work is cedar, and this was all done by myself. I polyurethaned it, I cut it, and installed it. So, you like the pink color? Thank you so much for liking pink on me. Toyo guy talked on Telegram. That wasn't me. I am not on Telegram. So that's another way to make sure that you understand how the fakes infiltrate you. The fakes, from what I understand, they reach out to you and ask for a follow back. That's not me. I don't do that. I get about 7 to 10 million views a day. And that makes it quite busy for me to do anything else. So just to even heart your comments can take me hours and hours and hours a day. So it is, I don't have that capacity to reach out to you to do any of that stuff. Now there are several platforms that I do DM on, and you have to find those platforms. But Telegram is definitely not something that I am on. So you can delete and block that Telegram person, because that was not me. What color are my eyes? That is always a good question. My eyes are what I consider hazel. They shift slightly when, depending on what I wear. Sometimes they look intensely green. Sometimes they look light green. Other times they'll have a tinge of blue or gray to them. But they are mostly a green tint with, so I consider it hazel because they change slightly with the colors that I wear. What's my favorite social media? Probably YouTube. They don't kick me off. So I have no infractions with them. So it doesn't matter. People report what they want, and I fight to make sure that my content is new and available for you. But there are a lot of Karens out there too. Somebody asked if I am single. No, I am married and have been married for the last 30 years. So thank you for joining me. I do appreciate you being here and joining me on this, what are we on? Wednesday morning. It is almost noontime, and I will be on about another 10 minutes. So if you have a question or you want to shout out where you're from, you can. So somebody, funny onion, asked me to flex again. So there's a flex for you. Yes. Thank you for liking all of my L rules. Thank you for liking all of my social media. I do appreciate that. Hi Gitro, thank you for joining me. Yes. Now, in getting 7 to 10 million views a day on my different social medias, now you can imagine that it's all different types of content. So I have to be prepared to make all different types of content throughout the day. So for instance, I can show a lot more on X than I can on TikTok, or I can show more on Fansly than I can on Instagram. So, but I have all the majors. All the majors are out there. So now keep in mind, there are a few that I don't go on it on. I don't know Zip Zero, nada, no Snapchat and no Telegram. So those are off. So don't even look for me there, because if you do, you're gonna get a fake me. So you don't want a fake me. You want the real me. Yes, Dominic, you can always hit follow or join or subscribe where you're at, and then go to my profile page, check out my prior posts, reels, shorts, to see my prior. Oh yes, I am on Facebook. Somebody chimed in and asked about Facebook. Yes, I am on Facebook as well. And the way to find which Facebook is really me, again, if you go, once you join or follow me, you can take a break, go to my profile page, and you can find which Facebook is really me. Because again, there's lots of fakes. There's lots of fakes out there. Pennsylvania is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you, girly girl, for being here. Yes, Pennsylvania, I have been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Yes, I've been to Gettysburg. And that is quite awesome to go through the battlefields and see the Battle of Gettysburg and the college that is there. So thank you so much for joining in. I do appreciate that, Greg. Yes. Hi, Lucas. Thank you for joining in. Dallas, Texas is in the house. So, oh, that's another one. Worcester, Mass is in the house. Thank you. And yes, it's Worcester, not Worcester. So that's how you know you got a New England girl in the house. That's another one that I do not do. Somebody else said, oh, I was chatting with you on Google Chats. No, I do not do Google Chat. So that is not me. Hi there from Italy. Thanks for joining in. Argentina is in the house. Thank you for being there. Hola, Carlos. Hi, Lee from North Wales. Yes, welcome. I do have a slight percentage of Welsh in my name. So let's see, my ancestry. People ask if I really am Irish. Yes, I really am Irish. I'm about 65% Irish. And then the majority of that, the balance is English, Welsh, Scottish, a smidge German, and 4% Norwegian. So that is my makeup of my ancestry. with the majority of it being actually Irish. Again, I can trace my family in ancestry all the way back to the late early 1700s, down to County Cork. And the other side of the family was from England, and both families were early settlers to the New England region. So hold on a second, I have to verify something. There we go. All right, excellent. So I am getting close to the end of my live. I just wanted to make sure that everybody has a wonderful, yes, I am absolutely American, correct. My ancestry is what I was saying, is Irish, correct. So, Ab, you have to join or subscribe and go to my profile page to find out what my Facebook page is. So that would be the way for you to get there. Yes, absolutely. Am I single? No, I am married. I'm happy to, Khalid, I'm happy that I brightened up your Wednesday. Where in Cork? Ulster, maybe? I'm not exactly sure. I would have to look that up. I have it written down somewhere, but I would have to actually look up Munster, M-U-E-N-S-T-E-R, Munster in County Cork. What do I do for a living? I am a content creator. So prior to being a content creator, I spent most of my adult life in finance. So working for a Fortune 500 company. Yes. And prior to that, when I first got out of college, I was a professional figure skater. So, which is how I got to see so many different wonderful places around the world, because I did travel internationally for Disney on Ice. F. Beck asked how old I am. The closest you're going to get is the Fantastic 50s. So thank you for being here. Yes. Oh, a lot of scrolling going on. So hi, Robert. Holy moly. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining in. Frank, thanks for joining in. Yes. Let's see. I got Johnny. Hi there, Johnny. No, Johnny, I don't add other creators to my live stream. So, but thank you for joining in. I do appreciate you being here. I can't read your name, but thank you for liking the color of my teeth. Yes, I do whiten them, and I go to the dentist regularly, so. Yes. Hi there, Tim. Thank you for joining in. Italian, thanks for joining in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have not been to Italy. There's so many places I can't decide where to go in Italy. Somebody mentioned Greece earlier, and I would like to go to the Greek Isles, but I have not gone to Greece either. So thank you for being here. I do appreciate Poland. I have not been to Poland. If you say where you're from, I can certainly let you know if I have ever visited that area. Ukraine, I have not been to the Ukraine. No. I have not been to India. Nope. So we're getting a lot of places I haven't been. Santorini, I have not been to Santorini. Trinidad or Tobago, I have not been. Iowa, I have not been to Iowa either. Buffalo, New York, I have driven through Buffalo, New York on my way to the Finger Lakes, right? Is that what they call it in the Finger Lakes in upstate New York? There we go. Tennessee. I have not been to Tennessee. No, I take that back. I have. I've been to Nashville, and I've been to Lynchburg. I went to where they make Jack Daniels. So, and it is going to be time for me to turn into a pumpkin. It is very near time for me to get back to work. So my break is over. It's time for me, Arkansas. I have not been to Arkansas or Ecuador. No, I have not. Yes, the Finger Lakes wine country. No, I didn't go for the wine. I did visit Hobart College and Williams. Hobart and Williams. Nice to meet you, Noreen. Thank you for joining me. Alan, thanks for joining. And Andy, welcome and thank you for joining today. Patrick, thank you for joining and being here. Just make sure you hit follow. Make sure you hit subscribe, join, like, all of the above. And then you get to see all of my social media. Thank you. Okay, well, you can, here's the funny thing. If you do reach out to me on Facebook, you can leave me a comment. I do not use the messenger on Facebook. So that's just, I have 7 to 10 million views a day, and I cannot respond to everybody. I try my best, and I do respond on certain platforms, but you've got to find the platform. Thank you so much. If you want to know what social medias I am on and how you can find me, the best thing I can do, surprised Golden Retriever and Eagle, is for you to go to my profile page and check out all the social media. Ooh, I got a heart with a crown. Thank you so much for my gift, Marty. I do appreciate that. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me. It is now time for me to get back to work. I am going to finish this coffee and say au revoir, adieu, adios, see you later, ciao. Goodbye. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. All right? Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you join me again on my next live. Or check, follow, subscribe, join, and that way you get notifications of all the upcoming stuff, okay? And you get my most up-to-date content, and you're not following the fakes. Well, there you go. All right? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again soon. Bye now. Hope you have a great day. Exit. Stay direct. Bye now.